that's conjecture. And to me, it really doesn't matter. I saw a statistic the other day of the all Pac-10 team and where they were as recruits when they came out, and I think 7 of the 22 were unheralded or 3 stars or less or anything like that. So I think the proof will be in the pudding. I know we did our due diligence with respect to the evaluation. We did find some late guys in the case of Will Oliver and Mike Orloff, but I feel comfortable that even though we found them late, that we did the proper amount of research to know that we're going to get a great return on our investment. And I know they're going to get a huge return on theirs because they're coming to the great place that we call UCLA.
Rick, a couple of your big concerns are the 2 offensive and defensive line. How many of these kids can challenge the spot right away?
Well, I'm happy to say that I don't hope that any of them do. I mean, we're going to give them a chance, but I think we've got to get to a place, Scott, where we don't have to play freshmen. You know, I think we've got a good returning nucleus of offensive linemen, especially when you count Kai Maiava back in and Jeff Baca back in. Knock on wood, they can stay back in. But I think that you know, we've got to get to a place where we can develop people and build a program that can allow guys to go through the entire process rather than being rushed into it. That's been the case each of the last 3 years, and or at least the first 2 years I was here, and last year by default we ended up with an all senior laden team, but we didn't have the amount of competition that we needed at that position. And I'm thrilled that Sean Schellers received his 6th year, and I just think we're going to have a deeper team and hopefully a bunch of guys that are going to go out there and fight scratch and claw to get a spot. And when we have that, we'll be a better football team.
Coach, if you could tell us a little bit about your experience today with Torian White, watching that TV show or online, what your feelings were going through that, and then how late you received his NLI today.
Well, you know, I'd like for Torian to be able to best describe the whys and wherefores of what happened, but from my vantage point, you know, I'd worked hard, and I say worked hard. I enjoyed every minute of it because I really think Torian's a special young man, and I shared that with him a number of times. And last night, for the first time, I wasn't able to talk to him. You know, the phone he wasn't answering, and so I got nervous because for however many nights during the contact period, every day I talked to him, oftentimes more than once, and so to not be able to talk to him, I got concerned. But I felt that we had a solid enough relationship, and he felt good enough about his opportunity here at UCLA that good things would happen. Obviously, when he picked up the other hat, I was depressed. You know, that wasn't the hat I wanted him to choose. But I later received a call that he still hadn't settled, and I'm just thrilled that he felt that way, and I'm thrilled that we built enough of a relationship, not only between he and I, but also between the school and his family, that this felt right. And as I told his father, we're going to make it right. He's going to have a great experience here at UCLA, as is the case with every one of the kids that comes to this school, whether you're a football player or not. But we're going to make this program something that everybody's very proud to be associated with.
Rick, how did you address with the defensive guys you brought in the issue that there wasn't a coordinator in place?
Well, I told them that I certainly had a long list of candidates. I heard that there was no shortage of people wanting to do the job, and that they had to trust that I was going to choose the best. And you know, it was difficult to hurry that process. You know, given that I was in a multitasking role of trying to bring in a recruiting class as well as interview candidates. Could have been much simpler had events not unfolded as they did over the course of the Christmas and bowl season. But you know, that's the way it was, so we had to work through it. And I think for the most part, when you sit down and share your concerns, I think everybody understands that. And they also understand they're getting to come to a place like UCLA. And I think if you spend enough time with people, you develop a level of trust that they know you're going to do a good job of selecting the right people to fill those positions.
Do you still have a long list of candidates?
is shorter, but as I said, we'll save that for another day.
Coach, this class is down in terms of numbers. Is that a product of your scholarship situation?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you saw our seniors on senior night, there wasn't a long lineup. You know, it's I think we had 12 or 13 guys introduced that night. So it's a product of that. Obviously, you have to plan for different eventualities, but there's a couple of guys in this class that are aware that if need be, they're going to defer their entrance. So, and it'll be good for them as they get a chance to develop. So, I think that we've filled our needs, and I'm looking forward to getting these guys in and then getting after maybe a little bit bigger class next year.
Besides Jerry, who else is looking at gray shirts?
It's not necessary to mention them unless we have to go forward, so I'll just keep that to myself. But there's a couple of guys that are aware that that's a possibility.
What do you mean you have to go forward?
Well, depending on what numbers we have, you know, as you get to the end of the year, some people make decisions as to what's best for them, and you know, that's just a natural progression. Certainly no one's being forced out. I hope that everybody makes the dance, but to protect myself, I have to have a couple guys that are willing to wait if necessary.
Do you consider the recruiting class complete? And JC guys, maybe with like anything?
We're going to always be looking for ways to improve our team, and so we'll continue to look and scour, if you will, the landscape so as to bring the best and brightest to UCLA.
Again, Torian changed his mind, but there were a lot of people who had UCLA hats on the table that didn't pick it. Do you think that the coaching situation impacted this class?
I think there's probably a lot of things that impacted that. You know, on the bright side, I look at it as this way: they had UCLA up there. You know, they were seriously considering this place. I think too that we've gotten our fan base at least believing that they're going to pick that one up with the way things have gone in the last couple of years, and the notable guys that have done that on grand stages. So that's all positive. But yeah, there's no question the 4-8 season, departure of some coaches and the uncertainty of position coaches and things of that nature all can lend themselves. But you can't hurry that process along just to satisfy individuals at the sake of the program. And you try to explain that to guys, and for the most part, they understood that.
Rick, do you think, kind of the reverse of that, did not getting Mike Johnson on the staff earlier impact this class?
Well, I certainly believe Mike Johnson's a very, very qualified and talented recruiter. I have watched him at work as an adversary many years ago, and Mike being back out in the field earlier probably would have helped. But there were important things being considered, and it wasn't the prudent thing to do. So we'll make up for lost time as we go forward. Everybody good? I appreciate it. Take care.